Moving on to page 4 of your packet, you are going to work on Artboard 4 and on the layer titled page 4. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on page 4 with my zoom tool and then default back to my selection tool. All my other layers are locked except for page 4. For this page, the toolbox you need to be able to view is Pathfinder. It's usually grouped with Align and Transform. If you do not have Pathfinder box up, then you need to go up to the top to Window and select Pathfinder. Once you have Pathfinder open, then you're ready to start working. Looking at your worksheets packet and that page that you have to complete, the very top left says Shape Modes and Pathfinders. Notice in your Pathfinders toolbox, there's Shape Modes here, Pathfinders there. What you're required to do is to create the first shape that you see on the left in the exact order that you see it, and use those tools to create the second shape. The only thing that I need to see is that second shape. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my squares and create 2 overlapping shapes. So I make the first shape, the back shape first, because that's how the shapes will layer themselves. I have those 2 overlapping shapes, and it says to use the Unite tool and combine the 2 squares. So I'm going to use my selection tool to select both squares, come down here to Shape Modes, and find Unite. And it's the first one. Notice that those 2 squares now become, or those 2 objects now become one object. Going down, using the minus front tool, combine 2 squares and add color. So again, you're making that shape or those 2 objects to the best of your abilities, selecting them both, and using the tool it tells you to find, minus front. So I'm going to come down to my shape modes. I'm going to find minus front. Notice that now that front shape was now minus back from the back shape, hence the minus front. Using the intersect tool, combine 2 squares, add color. I'm going to create those 2 squares just like I see in the packet. Go back to my selection tool, select them both, and find that intersect tool. So notice wherever the objects overlap or intersect, that's where the shape is going to be created. So I'm going to get this shape here. Then the exclude tool. This tool will exclude the area that's overlapping. So those are shape modes. Going over to the side to Pathfinders, we're going to skip the blend tool for now. Going over to the side to Pathfinders, it's the same thing. Create those 2 shapes that you see. I'm going to first create a square, then I'm going to create a circle. Selecting the 2, I'm going to go to Pathfinders and divide them. So wherever those shapes overlap, I'm dividing. So now I can pull them apart. I have to deselect them first, however. Up. Use your direct selection tool. And I'll just quickly demonstrate the rest of them. So again, we have the trim tool. Selecting both those shapes, find the trim. Trim just takes that top shape and makes it into its own shape and subtracts that from the back shape. But it keeps it. Unlike the minus front, it minuses the front out of the back shape, but keeps that front shape. Going down to merge. This is similar to the Unite tool. Just merges those 2 shapes together. The crop tool. It'll take this front shape and it'll crop wherever they're overlapping. The outline tool is rather simple. It just takes the shapes that you've made and simply outlines them. And then the last pathfinder is the minus back tool. So this is similar to the minus front, if you remember from the first round. So if I have my two shapes, the shape that's in the back, let me put an outline on this. The shape that's in the back is going to be subtracted from the front shape, so minus back. And that's simply your shape modes and pathfinders. Now, the blend tool. It says to use the blend tool, combine two circles, one small and one large, and make them different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. What it does not say on here is that these two circles have to have a fill, a color of a fill, and both need to have an outline of none, or this is not going to work. So I'm putting two different colors, one light pink, one dark pink, and an outline or a stroke of none. Now, going to my blend tool. Blend tool is located here. I'm going to click my blend tool, and it says to click on the top anchor point of each circle. Remember, my circles have north, south, north, east, south, and west. I'm going to go to my north point and click. Notice that right now that square is filled with white. I'm above a point when it turns black, and click. It simply blends those two shapes together.